In this video, we're going to talk about whether you should get cremated or buried, and what are the pros and cons to each. So hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you stay up to date on when new videos come out. It's probably the biggest decision you're going to make when it comes to making funeral plans. So what's the better option, burial or cremation? Well, the truth is there's no easy answer. Both have their pros and cons, which we'll discuss in detail. The decision will come down to what's right for you and your family, and this will be based on your budget, personal beliefs, religion, and other factors. If you're not sure yet, take your time to go through some of these important pros and cons. So let's go over some statistics first. According to the Cremation Association of North America, CANA, the rate has grown from 48.6% in 2015 and is expected to rise to 54.3% by 2020. A recent study by Harris Poll, which was commissioned by the Funeral and Memorial Information Council, reported that 65% of Americans were definitely or likely to choose being cremated. These statistics indicate that at this time, the decision to be cremated versus buried is close to half and half, but appear to be leaning towards the latter in the future. So let's compare the costs to each. Frequently, people choose cremation because they perceive it to be cheaper than burial. While this is mostly true, extra options can frequently increase the total cost of cremation to as much and sometimes even more than basic burial. So here's a breakdown of the approximate costs associated with each one, beginning with the basic costs and then with the added options that may be offered. Let's look at basic burial services. The fee for basic services is about $2,000, transportation of the body to the funeral home $300, preparation of the body $200, embalming $700, car for the transportation of flowers and other belongings $130, use of the staff and facility for the viewing and funeral $900, a hearse $300, memorial print packages such as a memorial directories, registration book, and acknowledgement cards $150. And those are basic things. What are the additional costs of burial? Well, the grave plot is $1,000, a burial vault is $1,300, opening and closing fee is $1,200, a casket, which is metal, is between $1,000 to $15,000, and of course, a headstone is $1,500. So what are the additional costs of cremation? Well, you can get a casket rental for $1,000, an urn for $250, and cremation for $30. But of course, you can skip all that if cost is really an issue. If the previous costs are unaffordable, there is another cheap cremation option. Here's a breakdown of what that includes. First, the body is cremated immediately after death. You will engage the services of a cremation, bypassing the expenses of a funeral home. Next, the body can be cremated in a simple cardboard container. Third, no memorial service is held. And fourth, no embalming or other preparations of the body are necessary because there is no service, viewing, or wake. So how do you deal directly with a crematorium? In most areas, you can transport the body to the crematorium and take care of the paperwork such as the death certificate and transit permits yourself. In most states, you will have to hire a funeral director for these services. Therefore, you should look into your state's requirements in advance. So what are the costs of a direct cremation? It can be as low as $700 and usually no higher than around $2,000, depending on what is mandatory in your state and also with who you deal with. If you must use the services of a funeral director, some charge much more than others for the same service or will attempt to sell you unnecessary options. For instance, in New York City, the minimum price for cremation is $550 but can go all the way to $10,200. Therefore, be sure to look around and make comparisons. So let's first look at the benefits of cremation. First, you will still have a funeral service and burial before or after if you want that. Second, it is less costly than burial, although many people are talked into spending more than anticipated. Third, it's quicker. Making these decisions can be a difficult and time-consuming ordeal, especially when doing so during your time of loss. 4, it is frequently considered more environmentally friendly. Burial is a source of environmental contamination, including the caskets. 5th, it takes up less land and helps with the problems of overcrowded cemeteries. 6, it is portable, so the ashes can be transported. You can put the ashes in an urn or other containers and take them with you if you move. And 7th, families have more time to decide what to do with the ashes after the body has been cremated. Ideas include scattering ashes, internment, cremation jewelry, cremation diamonds, and cremation art are just a few. So what are the disadvantages of cremation? First, you may be against the deceased or a family member's religion. Second, it's a permanent decision and cannot be exhumed at a later date. And third, sometimes it makes it difficult for loved ones to mourn. So then, what are the advantages of burial? First, it provides a gravesite for family and friends to visit. Second, it's considered a more natural method by some. Third, it's required by some religions. Fourth, the body can be exhumed if necessary, maybe for legal or court cases. And fifth, it may give loved ones more closure. Now, there are two disadvantages of burial. First, it's normally much more expensive than cremation. And second, it's difficult for loved ones who live far away to visit. So let's go more deeper into cremation and its costs. A double cremation, also known as a companion urns, these memorials are for two ashes to be combined into one urn. They can be used for a large person or for a couple. Prices usually range from $80 to $500. How about a cremation box? Usually made of wood, these boxes can hold ashes and sometimes mementos. The price can usually range from $50 to $100. What about a wooden urn? A very traditional and elegant option. A wooden urn is a popular choice with most people. The price can usually range from $50 to $100. So in the end, it's really up to you. What will you decide? Burial versus cremation? There's a lot to consider when making such a major and personal choice. Look at all the pros and cons, especially consider the costs and what it does to the environment. And also think about the religious perspective as well. So what are your thoughts? Do you plan to be buried or cremated? Leave a comment down below and let's get a discussion started. And as always, take care of your money. Oh, and one last thing before you go. I created a course called Smart Money Parenting as a way to teach parents how to educate their kids about money. An early financial education is the foundation for wealth building, so give your kids a future they deserve. Use code MONEY20 at checkout to receive 20% off my master course. I'll leave a link to the course down below.